In this video, I'm going to show you my top 10 fonts from the Adobe font library. Let's go. So before we get started, for more tips, tricks, hacks, tutorials, and other design inspiration videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and also don't forget to hit that notification bell to get notified every time I put a new video out. So I'm going to show you these 10 fonts in Photoshop, and I'll also let you know a little bit about how I use them in design, but all of the links to download these fonts are in the description below, so definitely check that out. So my first font on this list is called Moderno. And Moderno I use a lot in like 90s style designs, so like things like posters and graphics for social media. I use this a lot because I love that kind of like tall, condensed font, but still got that classic kind of like serif vibe. But if you do that in capitals as well, I just think it looks really good. So this is definitely one, if you're trying to recreate like Apple posters from the 90s or trying to do some like 90s style graphics, this is a great one to use. So number 9 is a font called Soap. And I use this as like my replacement. If I'm looking for something that's more fun than Cooper Black, this is it. So if you've got Cooper Black already, definitely get Soap. And this is like for more like fun posters. Maybe it's like a kid's thing you're designing for. Soap works great. It's got some lowercase letters in there as well. So it just makes things a bit more fun and quirky. So definitely check out Soap. So number 8 is called Franklin Gothic. And I'm sure you've heard of this font before. It's one that's been very popular since the 50s. And it features a lot in posters from that time period as well. So if you're trying to create a poster from the 50s or 60s or anything upwards from there, this is a great way to do it using Franklin. Number 7 is a font called Gautreau or Gautreau or Gautreau. I'm not quite sure. If you're French, let me know in the comments and tell me how I should pronounce that. This is a great font for like scripts, for more vintage stuff as well. Like I use this a lot as like an accent font. If I'm doing like a quote or something, I might have like one word highlighted with a font like this. So this is a really, really good font. Entirely free in Adobe Fonts, so definitely add that to your library. Whenever you want to add a little accent in there, add a little spice to your graphics, definitely check out this one. Number 6 is one of my personal favorites, is called Kepler, and I use this a lot on like upmarket things. When I hit 10k on Instagram, all my stories for that day were using Kepler as the font. I like how it's slightly cursive, but also slightly serif as well. It's got this like nice in between. You could use this for like invitations, or you could use this as like something that's more of a celebration. Definitely check out Kepler, a really, really cool font. My 5th font on this list is completely different to all the others. It's called Providence Sans, and it is like a child drew it. And you're probably thinking this is not a nice font, why are you using this? But this is like the closest font I found on Adobe Fonts for like handwritten things, like messy, very obvious handwritten things. And so I might use this for like a quote on Instagram. Sometimes it's like I might make it on like a post-it note or on a billboard or something to make it look like graffiti. This is the font I use. I love this font. This font definitely doesn't get enough credit. A lot of people pass this off as like ugly font. They put it down the list with Comic Sans, but I actually think you could use this in a lot of designs and it looks pretty cool. Number 4 on this list is another great script font. It's called Shelby. Shelby is like your go-to if you're doing neon signs, if you're doing things that have some effects on them like glow, outer glow or inner shadow or anything like that. Shelby works really well. Gautreau here is good, but when you're trying to do things with effects, you need a kind of thicker and cleaner font, and Shelby works perfect for that. So I use Shelby a ton if I'm doing like retro designs. I recently got into a lot of displacement stuff where it like glows and looks like a projection. Shelby works perfectly for those things because you can still make out the text even though it's cursive. So definitely check out Shelby. You're going to add that to your list and I'm sure you're going to use that a ton. Number 3 is called Blazeface, and this comes from the Oh No Typeco guys. And they produce a lot of cool fonts, but Blazeface is my favorite out of their collection. 70s is really in right now. A lot of people making graphics in that style, and Blazeface should be added to your collection of fonts for whatever project has like 70s or 60s, or anything retro for that matter. This is a great font. I use Blazeface a lot on like carousels or on social media posts because it works really well as like a heading, and you've got a few different options for the thickness, and you can go really, really thick with these. And there's a few different variations as well. So definitely check out Blazeface. It's on Adobe Fonts, and again, entirely free. Add it to your collection, use it when you're doing 70s stuff, and you're gonna absolutely love it. Now we're getting to my most used on this list, and number 2 is a font called Belight, and I use this on pretty much anything. So this works on print, this works on social, this works on web. It's a great font, and the reason being is that it's kind of like bold enough and unique enough to stand out as like a website header, but it's also kind of clean enough and simple enough that it doesn't get like lost or really confusing when you read at a smaller size. So there are some variations to this font as well. This is the display version, but there is a regular version, italicized version, bold as well, and these work great as kind of like accompanying fonts too. So definitely check out Belight. I'm sure it'll get integrated into one of your most used fonts as well. I found this about a year ago and I haven't stopped using it since, so hopefully it will last you a long time too. So this list isn't in a particular order of my favorite or what my most used is, but at number one, it had to be at number one because it is my number one. It is a font called Tangier, and I use this all the time. I probably overuse it at this point, but it is such a great script font. Like I was mentioning earlier with Gautreaux, Tangier is a really great font that accompanies other fonts. So if you want to highlight a certain word in a piece of text, Tangier does that really well. I like the fact it's like simple, but it's got enough style that it carries emphasis on whatever word you're highlighting. So definitely check out Tangier, add it to your list of most used fonts, and I'm sure, like it is for me, it's going to become a Swiss Army knife for you. Whenever you need a font that highlights or accents, Tangier will be the one. So there you have it, my top 10 Adobe fonts. If you want to download these, the links are in the description. And if you post this on Instagram, if you post a design using these fonts, make sure you tag me, I'd love to see them. If you're looking for some more premium fonts and design assets, then definitely check out Toolkit. It's a great website for creatives. You can get assets there, fonts, and tons of other design tools. So definitely check it out. And also you'll find some of my stuff on there, so go and have a look. If you've enjoyed this video, then make sure you leave a like. It really does go a long way to helping this channel. And also consider subscribing for plenty more videos like this to come. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.